Startups, are you wondering, how do I do market research? Well, I'm going to tell you 6 specific steps on how to do it. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we know that if we have a clear plan, anything becomes possible. And if you can have a clear plan, a clear process to create that plan, and a way to create clarity with your partner or spouse, you can drive to amazing heights. All right, so you're looking to do market research. Cool, right on. We're going to go through and we're going to hit 6 specific ways to do that. Stick with me all the way to the end, and I got a special gift for you as well. So I'm coming to you today from the beautiful high country in Colorado. Oh my God, look at that. I'm the luckiest cat on the planet. And with this, so in my book, the best-selling book on the aspiring solopreneur, we talk about how is it you can figure out how to do market research. And this applies whether you're a tiny business, big business, doesn't matter. I like to start with the idea of the 80-20 rule, or half-baked rule. So what this means is that when you're thinking of your product or service that you're going to launch, cool, good for you, get it about 80% of the way there. It's not going to take that much time, but what is that product or service? Don't worry about the last 20%, all the specifics and the mechanics and the colors and all that other shit. That's the stuff that usually bites people in the butt more than anything, and they'll spend 90% of their time in that last 20%. Then they'll launch it and realize, holy smokes, we should have done it this way, and that actually would have been better. Or people wanted it this way, or make it a little bit different, so it's a tweak. So the first thing is outline what is your product or service about 80% of the way there. You haven't launched it, we're not there yet. We're still making sure that we've got proof of viability, that this is something, and then we're going to go out and test it, and we're going to do that market research. So the next thing is, once you've done that, is put your hat on that you're now your target consumer, and start saying, okay, what is the problem I'm solving, which you should have done when you're creating your product, and you're like, okay, how do I do that? And then try and solve it. Now, maybe it's asking other people you know. Maybe it's something along the lines of doing a Google search. Who knows? Whatever it is, but start trying to solve the problem yourself, and actually reach out to those people who solve that problem the way currently, and be really curious and say, hey, talk to those people who are currently solving. Say, how do you handle this? What do you do about this? Act as if you're going to hire them, because who knows? You may not. And you can do this geographically in your local area, or you can reach outside of your geographic area. But start with this in mind, and also keep in mind, listen, what are the keywords they're using? Because the keywords in Sales Point, if they're a decent salesperson, those are going to be some of the key points that you're going to be listening to for what the key motivations are. So the third thing is start to reach out to those companies, but be very candid and open about, hey, I'm considering doing this business, and this is a product or service I'm looking to launch. I'm curious, it seems like you do this. Would you be willing to talk to me? Now, if you're in a very small, competitive geographic environment, people aren't going to do that. But if you're reaching out, especially in the solopreneur space, and you're not geographically competitive, the most beautiful sound to any entrepreneur is their own voice. And if somebody says, boy, you have something that I would really love to hear your opinion, and I'd like your thoughts on, what can you tell me about it? You will be amazed at how much people will tell you, and how much they're willing to share their experiences and help you over some blind spots and say, yeah, I tried it this way, but boy, it was stupid, so I did this. Now, you have to take it with a grain of salt to decide, is this worth it to me? Do I buy into this, or do I disagree? If you do, cool, no worries. Listen to what they're doing, and then take it for what it's worth. Now, I've known people who've done this even in their geographic area, and they end up with people. It's like, yeah, we only do we do that work, but most of the people we work with are a lot bigger, and we don't have anybody to hand off the small guys to. Well, I've seen people come up with contracts or deals to where they end up doing overflow work, or they do work that other company is adjacent, but they don't necessarily want to do. But this is where being curious and asking is important. You may also have to have some elephant skin. Some people are like, well, I'm not telling you anything. I'm scarcity minded. You're a dumbass. I'm like, okay, well, thanks. Hang up and talk to the next person. Don't take those things personally. All right. The next thing you're going to do is, once you start narrowing this down, is start asking potential clients. If you know people in your network or people that are out there. Now, I'm not saying sell it. That's really important. You're not selling it. It's like, look, I would love to get your feedback. And again, if I'm selling you something, a wall immediately goes up and people get nervous. But if I'm asking for your help, well, as most people, we want to help each other. So when you reach out to them and say, hey, look, I'm asking for your feedback. I think this is something that you could use down the line. I am not selling you. I want you to listen to me and see what your thoughts are and give me feedback as I grow with this. Now, if it happens to work out that they end up wanting your product or service, cool. But the most important and valuable piece is you're learning from. All right. The next piece is a willingness to review what you've learned, be open and candid with yourself, and then repeat it. Because the likelihood is you may be at that 80% and maybe it didn't work. So maybe you need to make an adjustment. Maybe you need to tweak it. Maybe you're only tweaking that 20%, or maybe you're going back to the drawing board. But by doing this well, you're saving a bunch of money and you're saving a bunch of brain damage not walking into that buzzsaw. And then lastly, if it is solid and it is great, and in the courses, the Aspiring Solopreneur and our books that we sell, we specifically have a checklist that says, is this a no-brainer? Candidly, would I be an idiot not to do this? And that to me is when you know it's a no-brainer. It's like, yeah, I'm willing to jump in. This is going to be great. That becomes a great investment. So with this, ideally you found some value. If you liked it, hey, you know what? If you're one of the first 5 people to reach out, I'll put my email on here. I'll give you the course for free. You're welcome to come. So please share this. I look forward to hearing from you. Keep smiling.